Number 10. Truth or Dare. I think the title of this story by Frostbitten Death speaks for itself. We all know what Truth or Dare leads to eventually. Here's a taste of this Saw Nails shipping fanfic. Rouge shushed Amy and pointed her finger at Sonic and Tails. Amy turned her head, where she pointed and saw Tails kissing Sonic on the lips, actually performing the dare like she said. It looked like they were doing it without any trouble. Rouge asked him to kiss Sonic on the lips, and there they were, making out with one another right there on the carpet. The end totally sounds like a Seinfeld line. Right there on the carpet, right there on the carpet! Making out, Jerry! Number 9. I now pronounce you egg and wife. This fanfic, written by SSBB Wizard 96, sees the Sonic gang heading off to Eggman's wedding chapel. It features a bunch of pairings including Son, Amy, Shadooge, and an unexpected relationship between Tails and Knuckles. Here's a short reading. Knuckles approached Tails with a soft kiss and then made his way down his neck. I think sleep can wait, Knuckles said as he began kissing Tails' neck and making his way down. Oh yeah, right there! Tails egged his lover on. His dream was coming true. And if you want more, you'll have to read it for yourself. Number 8. Juicy Details. This story by Ezekiel tells of yet another attempt by Amy to get Sonic to notice her. However, when she seeks comfort in Tails, she learns that big things sometimes come in small packages. God, I hate myself for that one. Anyway, here's a bit of it told from Amy's perspective. Tails smirked as he walked over to me. Sorry to disappoint you, but my IQ isn't the only thing that's large. I laughed as Tails leaned in and intertwined our lips for a second time. I soon felt Tails' hands start to tug on my dress, and that's all I can bring myself to say.
And number 7, Papyrus. Frisk and Papyrus. The Papyrus ship feels like a good point on our list to talk a little bit more about some of this vicious anti-ship movements from the Undertale fandom. Now, one of the biggest reasons that this issue has become a thing is because of the shipping that concerns Frisk, Shara, and Azrael, since all three of them are pretty young characters, and that some shippers choose to write smut about them, sometimes taking things a little too far. Whether you feel that way about the Papyrus ship, often it is considered to be a non-binary ship, and one of the more popular pairings due to Frisk's flirt option upon meeting Papyrus. The two even go on a date, if you take the neutral route, but Papyrus states that he just sees Frisk as a friend. Maybe it's just a friendship.
Number 6. When Sonic is away. This is a rather explicit one by Melodious Bloodshed. The description starts, Shadow bangs Knuckles and an odd relationship forms, and that sets the tone pretty well. Also, apparently in this one the characters are human, which will be a relief to some and a bummer for others. Here's a taste from the perspective of Tails. I'm glad you're home, he murmured, lifting his eyes again. This time they were soft and almost shy, and it took all the control he had not to snatch his friend up and run home to have his way with him. So sweet. Number 5. Tails Rouge. Damn it, I said stop with the Tails ships! Okay, fine. Yeah, a lot of people try to ship Tails with Rouge. Rouge is shipped all the time because she's so damn flirty. Some point to her kissing him on the cheek and the rivalry they share as flyers as evidence that they're into each other. But it seems a lot more like a big sister or little brother relationship to me. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. Number 4. A Gift for Valentine. This story by Blockhead Green 1189 ships Shadow with Twilight Sparkles. That's right, it's a Sonic / My Little Pony crossover. What could be more normal? In case that's not enough for you, here's an excerpt. You like it? Shadow asked again with a macho tone in his voice. Twilight nodded at him simply as she released his neck and placed both her arms on the wall as if inviting him to her. Shadow's smirk grew wider when she did it, and then he moved closer to her and kissed her on the lips again. Yep.
And at number 3, Undyne and Alphys. Alphys and Undyne are a fem-slash that's actually canon, and one of the only fem-slash ships as far as the fandom is concerned too. In the pacifist route, Alphys and Undyne are dating, whereas in the neutral route, it's just a crush. During Metaton's quiz show, when you're asked who Alphys has a crush on, one of the correct answers is Undyne. If the player is on a true pacifist route, Undyne will ask you to deliver a letter to Alphys that is a confession letter, and is quite passionate, which leads to you going on a date with Alphys, although the character seems to be preoccupied with Undyne, mentioning her many a time. After the date, Undyne approaches you and says she regrets sending the letter, and when she leaves, Alphys shows up and admits her feelings for Undyne. This leads to some embarrassing roleplaying between you two that catches Undyne's attention. Needless to say, there is a lot for fans to gush over when it comes to this coupling.
Number 2. Because of You. This one's just weird. I'm sorry, but this story written by Swift178 tells of how Tails was distraught after Cosmo's death because they were in love. Sonic comes in to comfort him and the two have sex, and then this happens, and it's from Tails' perspective. Just spit it out already, I said in the angriest voice I could muster. The dog jumped at my anger before looking at his clipboard, sighing and looking me in the eyes. I'm afraid to say, you're pregnant, Mr. Prower. Yeah, told you it was weird. Number 1. Sonic's Ultimate Harem. This story by Lil Sonic is so long it's insane. As of now, there are 321 chapters, all detailing Sonic's experiences with a different famous character, as he tells Mario of his sexual exploits. He even goes on an adventure with Deadpool and sleeps with Lady Death. It's crazy, and the run-on sentences are real. Listen, Sonic motorboats Death's breasts and rubs them, making Death feel extremely good, and the blue bird takes the liberty to bite the nipple and tweaks the other nipple. This causes Death to let out a high-pitched scream. She wraps her hand around the hedgehog's. Okay, I think you get the picture. Number 10. Shad-Amy. Shad-Amy is fairly often thrown around, even if it isn't the most supported. It started out after their scene in Sonic Adventure 2 when she begs Shadow to help them. The thing is, there aren't really any lines in that scene or elsewhere that makes the two seem romantically inclined. Hell, he isn't even doing it for her, he's doing it for Maria. This one's a bit of a stretch, and it's mostly thrown around by people as a counter to the whole Saw and Amy thing. More on that later. Number 9. Sylvaise. The relationship between Silver and Blaze has been thrown around since Sonic 06. Obviously, all the interactions and the closeness we saw in the game led many people to see the two as an item. Even though, spoilers, the story was reset at the end, a lot of people support the idea that they would have wistful amnesia where their feelings remain even if the memories are gone. This one's probably more likely than Sonae's, but some believe that Blaze sees Silver more like a brother than a love interest. Who knows? Number 8. Taerim. This is one that is made more likely by default simply because Tails and Cream at 8 and 6 are two of the youngest Sonic characters. Not gonna lie, there are a bunch of ships involving these two that make me super uncomfortable, but at least with Taerim they're shipped with someone roughly their age. Just as long as they keep things PG, cause again, they children and cartoon animals, but let's not get bogged down in the details. Number 7. The Satin Princess. This story by Ultra Shadow sees Rouge as a popular talent agent. However, she decides to relieve stress by getting a massage from a certain grumpy hedgehog and things get steamy. Here we go. She gasped a little as she felt his soft tug. The towel dropped until it revealed her smooth back. Her anxiety rose and began to skyrocket until Rouge felt Shadow trace a gentle finger down her spine. He drew a slow, long curve. Rouge felt herself shudder. "Don't worry." His deep voice was like black velvet. "I'm going to take care of you." Smooth. Number 6. Sonails. Here's another slash ship for the slashers out there. This one's a bit more, how shall I put it, pedophilic. Some shippers claim that the close friendship Sonic and Tails have had over the years is more than a mere friendship. They're in love. These people say that the admiration Tails has for Sonic and the dedication they show to each other means that they're in a relationship. Just a few problems with this. A, they're not gay and definitely just friends, and B, Tails is frickin' 8 years old, so stop it!
And at number 5, Asgorio. Asgore and Toriel. This headship is one of the only canon ships in the game, except that Asgore and Toriel are divorced. Initially, these two were married, they were royals of the kingdom, and had a child named Azrael, along with an adopted one, Shara. After Shara and Azrael returned from the human world, the grief over what had occurred had corrupted Asgore, eventually filling him with rage. This led to his quest of wanting to kill 7 humans and collect their souls in order to break the barrier and declare war against the humans. Toriel was not on the same page. She was disgusted by this notion and left him. Needless to say, still a lot of people want to see them together.
Number 4. Shadouge. Shadouge is definitely one of the pairings that's kind of too easy. People basically just use the fact that they're both kinda anti-heroic and brooding to say that they should date. But really, the two don't seem to have any special feelings towards each other other than the odd smile or smirk. Yeah, I don't really buy this one. But you know a more likely ship. Number 3. Sonic and Luigi's Amazing Quest. That's right, it's time for Son-Luigi. This story by Swagtron420 follows Sonic and Luigi, who are of course desperately in love, on their first adventure. The very first line says it all. Sonic woke up, the fresh morning sun gleaming across his super hot chest. He looked to his side to see Luigi still sleeping. Sonic stared at his lover with a smile until finally he awoke with a yawn. "Luigi!" an excited Sonic said. "Are you ready for the farmer's market today?" I love how domestic they are. Number 2. Son Alley. Here's one that was actually canon in Sat AM and the Archie comics, so it definitely has to be on here. Nowadays they seem to be just friends, but this doesn't stop the shippers, many of whom claim that the pair is still very much an item. I'm not so sure about this one. I get that pre-Genesis wave they were together and Sat AM was a big part of many a childhood, but they seem to just be friends now. But there's still one big Sonic ship left. Number 1. Son Amy. This one definitely had to be number 1. Not only is it the most often referenced, but it's probably the most likely to. Everyone knows that Amy's definitely up for it, but there is some doubt cast about Sonic. The thing is though, Sonic headquarters confirmed in an interview with Disney Adventures magazine that he does like her he's just too shy. Some anti-Sonamy folks say the person being interviewed didn't know what they were talking about, but I think I'll take their word for it for now.
And at number 10, Papillon, Papyrus and Metaton. The canon relationship between these two is professional at best. Papyrus owns MTT brand products, and in the Metaton ending, if Papyrus is spared, he becomes one of Metaton's agents. But that hasn't stopped some fans from embellishing further to develop this slash ship with endless fanfic and art. That being said, despite what we mentioned a moment ago, there isn't a whole lot that is canon to go off of when it comes to this ship, and it's left some confused as to why there's even such an enthusiastic fanbase behind it, especially when there's arguably better matches for Papyrus. But both do have similar traits at times. They're both known for being really proud individuals, and Papyrus does seem to have an interest in robots, so perhaps it's not entirely beyond our imagination's reach, is it? And at number 9, Chazriel, Azriel and Chara. Chazriel is a family ship, and it's semi-canon. Azriel and Chara are adoptive siblings, and often many players feel that their fates in the game felt unfinished. As one user on Reddit named Colkern stated in a debate thread on the subject, I quote, "The message of the game is all about letting go of the past, but it feels like you're left with unfinished business because leaving these two behind, because they're both technically alive." Now it seems unlikely that fans will get any sort of closure since the rumors about an Undertale sequel have been kicking around for years, but fear not. Many have taken the liberty of writing fanfiction to elaborate on this duo's story, and there's quite a few pieces out there that are definitely worth a read. Also, another argument for this fanship, they're not technically blood-related siblings, so it's okay. Up next at number 8, Sans Chup, Sans and Ketchup. Gotta love a good cargo ship. There's a handful of food-based cargo ships as far as the Undertale fanship is concerned. This includes the Light of Charlotte, the ship between Chara and Chocolate, and Papaya Getty, the ship between Papyrus and Spaghetti. Now this ship spawned from Sans' like of drinking ketchup, which often occurred at Grillby's. Needless to say, this humorous cargo is one of the most popular ships. No one can disagree when you're having a laugh about Sans' adoration of ketchup and his mishaps with the condiment.
Number 7, Sonato. Here we go, the first of the slash ships for this list. For the uninitiated, slash ships involve same-sex relationships. This one honestly has pretty much no evidence at all. It's mostly supported because Sonic and Shadow are the two male characters seen as most attractive by the people who find Sonic characters attractive. Sure, they have a bit of a rivalry, but that seems to be exactly what it is. A rivalry. No sexual tension needed.
And at number 6, Guard 1 and Guard 2. I see two lovers staring over the edge of the cauldron of hell. Yep. From somewhat controversial to straight up comical, this ship between Guard 1 and Guard 2 is another Undertale pairing that most of us can get behind. These two are the Royal Guards, and are a mini-boss duo that you encounter in Hotland. Their official tarot card is the Lovers. Their sprites are actually named with the word bara, which is a misnomer of a Japanese genre of artwork that is considered gay manga. Also, popsicles. Enough said.
Number 5, The Babysitter Affair. This story by True Mel Mako Mei Ling tells of a more mature Knuckles-Rouge relationship while they're married with children. However, Knuckles is accused of cheating and things get dicey. Here's a quote. "Feeling himself grow hotter with anticipation, he gently took hold of Rouge's leg and slipped his hand up the length of her thigh. A small chuckle escaped her from the way his glove tickled her fur. How much did it tickle? Find out yourself."
And at number 4, Franz, Sans and Frisk. Another non-binary ship, Franz is the pairing of Frisk and Sans, who, as far as what canon is concerned, are just friends. But some people have read their interactions as flirtatious. When the two first meet, Sans introduces himself with a whoopee cushion. When they meet up at Grillby's, Sans accidentally dumps an entire ketchup bottle on Frisk's meal. Then Sans invites Frisk out to dinner at the MTT Hotel. Now read those moments as you will. This is another ship that received quite a bit of backlash since Sans is arguably much older than Frisk. So often shippers will just focus their fanfic or art on an older version of Frisk instead, often making the character female since there is no canon gender for Frisk in the game.
Number 3, Knuckzooge. The ship of Knuckles and Rouge is definitely among the more popular, and possibly one of the more likely. They have a real Batman and Catwoman thing going, which is kind of ironic since Rouge is the one who's the Bat. Knuckles is the honorable person fighting for what's right, while Rouge is the seductive thief out to get his goat. And in this case, his goat is his Master Emerald. People point to their flirtiness and their married couple squabbles as evidence that they're into each other, but to be fair, Rouge flirts with everyone.
Up next, number 2, Charisk, Chara and Frisk. Why not ship the two human characters? This ship is entirely fanon, and mainly derives from the similarities that the players have noted that these two have. Is there any canon evidence for this one? Well, at one point Chara calls Frisk partner, and then there's a line, "Since when were you the one in control?" which is often implied to mean that Chara is the dominant character in the relationship. But that's about it. Otherwise, this largely popular ship is adored primarily for how cute these two would be together, along with the concept that they're soul buddies, and that they're really connected. They're also mirror characters of one another. Also, just like look at their outfits, people. There's a lot of common ground between them. And to some, well, they just think that out of all of the other ships out there for Frisk, Chara and Frisk is the least weird one since they're both human kids. And finally, in at number 1, Soriel, Sans and Toriel. Why is Soriel number 1? Well, they're both adorable. They both like puns. They enjoy telling each other puns, which adorably irritates the other characters. They just get each other. Or at least that's what the fandom has gauged from that interaction. And fair enough, it's a logical one. They mesh well together. Considering that Sans is probably significantly older than we think, his pairing with Toriel is one that could work well, and gives Toriel some much deserved love. The two have a warm friendship in the game, and Asgore's reaction to watching these two interact always felt like he was really jealous of their dynamic.
Number 10, the Rowdy Boys. This legend pirate ship battle comes courtesy of YOLO Cat.
Chasing him. Hit one up top. Oh, these are pirate legends, dude.
As an enemy ship had moved in on the Rowdy Boys crew, their cannon fire had repeatedly blown holes in the lower deck. As soon as they repaired one hole, another would be blasted open. A teammate then yelled for backup, saying that the enemies had boarded the ship. That's when the crew noticed the ghost pirate attire and realized they would have their hands full with a couple of pirate legends. The team manages to take out a pirate legend, but the enemies are relentless in their attack, and eventually the ship has taken too much damage, leaving only one option.
Let's get her. See you on the island, my man. Yeah, go this way. We're gonna survive. Oh, that cannonball just went past me.
Number 9, Spawn Kill. Sea of Thieves gamer Zilbrad, through comical means, shows us how to take treasure right from underneath the legend's nose.
For battle.
I'm gonna check, because they've tattered sails to Pirate Legends.
Oh yeah, go, get up there, get up there.
I can't get in the... There we go.
Good luck. Oh, you went too high.
Once spotting the pirate legends, his crew makes their way over, even though one of them was a little overzealous in firing himself through a cannon.
Treasure!
Really?
Off them, militia.
I need it.
Oh my god, I'm swimming.
Oh, I hit their anchor. Oh, sneaky.
Zilbrad then makes his way onto the ship and manages to lower the pirate legends' anchors, stopping them in their tracks. One of the legends even attempts to board their ship, yelling, "Zilbrand, I've waited so long to kill you."
Good strat. It's a oh, thank you. Oh man. Till we meet again, I guess.
But he then goes on to destroy their ship with a gunpowder barrel on board and waits for them to respawn and then takes them out once again. It's a brilliant strategy that leads to some much needed treasure for his crew. Number 8, David versus Goliath. Going up against a galleon in a smaller ship can be quite the task, but user Mountain Kid shows us that with the right amount of skill, anything is possible.
Are they gonna run into the island? They're gonna run into the island. They're not paying attention.
Oh my god. Keep on, keep the assault.
Yes, yes.
His crew manages to take down a few smaller ships on the way when they notice the large galleon ship isn't in control and runs straight into a nearby island.
I'm going into them. Yo, they're going down.
Oh, he's gonna try.
His crew maintains a strategic back and forth action by dropping the anchor to turn on a dime as they launch several cannonball shots to the side of the large ship. In the end, strategy beats size.
We're not gonna get the chest from the small boat, but who cares? We just suck a galleon of a small ship.
In at number 7, Tracy and Misty.
You're not gonna drink salt water, are ya?
Oh no, this is strictly for Pokemon research purposes.
Great.
Next up we have the Orange Shipping. Yes, there's a shipping name for everyone. The name comes by way of how the friendship began between these two and why fans are shipping them. Tracy had been a pretty vocal fan of Professor Oak, and upon realizing that Ash knew him well, he tagged along with the group in hopes of meeting his idol. Misty, however, was pretty sus of Tracy, this virtual stranger joining their group, but soon the pair began a friendship when traveling through the Orange Islands, hence the name Orange Shipping. Not that creative group of fans, but hey. Although a lot of people have proposed that the canon for the Orange Island story was more of a trying to build a deeper relationship between Ash and Misty, although this hasn't stopped fans from wanting Tracy and Misty to be together. Number 6, Chest of Sorrow. This chest has the ability to sink a ship fast, and Zilbrad shows it can sink even faster with some help from the bucket.
I'm so sorry. I just don't know what to say. It's just a good sir or not a good sir, you know? And now it's crying. It's just crying in his ship.
The ship begins taking on a ton of water, and as Zilbrad attempts to be passive with the enemy by throwing buckets of water on board, there's not much they can do.
See, a crying chest, people splashing water.
Harder! Oh, he saved it. How do we kill him while being like really passive? That's basically.
In at number 5, Dawn and Paul. Next up we have Ikarai shipping. I hope that's how you say it. This is the name given to the odd fan shipping of Dawn and Paul. This is one of the more popular fan ships from the Pokemon fandom, but one that we can't really get on board with. The two are polar opposites, and while opposites attract sometimes, these two just should not. For starters, Dawn is upbeat and optimistic, while Paul is the cold-hearted bad boy. Paul's so bad that he doesn't even bother trying to remember Dawn's name. Pretty hard to ship that kind of dysfunctional pairing if you ask us. Every single interaction between the two always has Dawn fawning over Paul, with Paul not really noticing any of this. I suppose you want what you can't have though. Number 4, a sitting duck. Gamer Dragass shows us what can happen if you decide to fire at a ship and then just dock nearby.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna
hey,
kill
I
these.
see your 4-person crew.
Oh yeah, they are
Incoming!
firing at us.
Oh my god. Oh, Jesus! Oh my god.
Although it's only a single person running that enemy ship, you gotta give it up for him for his effort. Once he's docked though, it's only a matter of time before they catch up and sink this sitting duck.
Got it.
Okay, wait, hold on now. I'm on board.
Okay, should we stop?
I'm in. I'm in here. Let's go.
Oh, I think it just. Oh, who's that? I didn't know you were in there.
In at number 3, May and Harley. Oddly enough, this one is called Cookie Shipping, and it involves May and Harley. Although if the name weren't already taken, I'd say this should be Contest Shipping. Just saying. The two are contest rivals, but because of that, they get shipped together by fans often. Although when you look closely at their relationship, Harley hasn't been the nicest to May. He's manipulated and even cheated to win against her before, and therefore has little to no respect for May. Why does he have such disdain for her, you ask? Well, she just so happens to look like a girl who ate his food as a child. Yeah, the man holds on to grudges so much that he imposes them on people who have done nothing to him. Why fans want these two together is beyond strange, and you know what? I don't believe it either. Number 2, Triple Threat.
Hit us from behind. They're gonna hit us from behind.
We got the little
Oh
one.
no, we're sandwiched. We're sandwiched in between. Oh no.
They haven't got any.
Watch out, watch out.
They are not hitting us.
They hit us.
Oh, okay, going.
A one-on-one ship battle can be stressful enough, but let's see what happens when Legendary Lee's ship gets sandwiched in between two enemies. After crashing head-on to the first enemy and essentially flipping their ship as a result, the crew respawned and went after the second attacker.
They're sinking. Yeah, they're sinking. They're dead. We got them. We just sunk 2 ships.
Lastly, in our number 1 spot, the Doctor Will See You. Looks like Dr. Disrespect has some serious skill when it comes to the game Sea of Thieves. He takes on a fan who is lined up side by side with his ship, and he manages to switch back and forth from cannon fire to sniping the enemies who are persistent in their pursuit to take down this top streamer. In the end, however, a quick sniper scope to the head, taking out the captain, and no one to repair the enemy ship leads to a win for the Doctor.
Got him, Doc.
In at number 10, Jesse and James. In the Pokemon lore, fans have dubbed this fan pairing as Rocket Shipping. Jesse and James are partners in Team Rocket and therefore have a friendship that has withstood the test of time. The ridiculously wacky schemes to steal Pikachu from Ash for their boss Giovanni has gotten these two into some pretty messy situations, but the pair have always stuck together through it all. As per the canon of Pokemon, these two are clearly meant to be seen as just co-workers who perhaps, get along really well. However, for fans of Pokemon, they are without a doubt the most popular pairing. This couple leans on the more reasonable fan ships though, hence its placement in this list. In at number 9, May and Drew. Next up, we have what is commonly referred to as contest shipping. At the beginning when these two met, they were simply rivals, but fans believe May was starting to catch feelings for Drew. Even when Drew is giving May tough love, they still see it as advice coming from a place of love. People are mainly shipping these two because of the episode where May calls him Roseboy and, well, he blushes. Drew is always holding this rose as some type of calling card, or perhaps he's saving it for the right one.
Had such powerful friends, May.
Oh, we're not really friends, Harley. Most of the time, Drew just likes to make fun of me.
Oh, that can't be true, or he wouldn't have given
We're not really friends, Harley.
Either way, when it comes to canon, these two are nothing but friendly rivals. I know, I don't believe it either. And at number 8, Ash and Misty. This is a confusing one for sure. In the first episode of the anime, Ash steals Misty's bike to rush Pikachu to the Pokemon Center, and after Misty tracks them down to make him pay for the bike that he destroyed, the two start hanging out together as a result. Largely the pairing is meant to be a friendship, and adding Brock into the mix often solidifies them as a friend group rather than leaving Brock as the third wheel. The show has hinted several times though that Misty has some sort of crush on him though.
By the way, are you Ash's girlfriend or what? No, I'm his coach. Then I would thank you to stay out of his personal business. You see, Ash and I have to talk about our future together.
These moments are what send fans into a frenzy of shipping the pair in what they call poke shipping. Other people throughout the wonderful world of Pokemon have also called the pair out asking if they're a couple. More notably is whenever another potential suitor for one of them enters a scene, the other is noticeably annoyed or just jealous. Although we just can't ever see this couple getting together as the anime still treats them as best friends and traveling companions. Number 7, teamwork. In Sea of Thieves there are a ton of ship-to-ship battles where they even seem close enough to touch. The difference between sinking and staying afloat is how well your crew can work together.
Okay, now straighten up. Nice. Oh, they're trying to patch it up. They got holes. Oh my.
After taking out one ship, Mueslick and his crew continue to work so well together that they managed to take out 2 more ships, all within 10 minutes.
He looks like a skeleton to me.
Incoming!
They look like ghosts. Oh, now they're real people. All right, watch for holes, boys. All right, get ready to drop anchor. Drop anchor.
On the third and final ship that they take down, 2 of them launch themselves out of a cannon onto the enemy ship, and while on board, they completely wipe the team out for one last victory.
Up. Oh, nice, Cray.
Yeah, I killed 2.
All right, lads, they're going down. That was a great one, boys.
In at number 6, Ash and Iris. Nagai shipping is the belief by Pokemon fans that Ash and Iris are for sure in a romantic relationship. The first piece of evidence for this ship is when Iris starts blushing upon meeting Ash and her thanking him for saving her Pokemon even though it was clearly Oshawott that did the dirty work. I know, I'm still worked up about it. There's even a few scenes where she watches Ash's gym battle with the most googly-eyed look on her face. Although as per canon, the two are more likely bickering siblings that travel together. Iris repeatedly calls Ash a kid, which is probably more soul-crushing than just saying let's be friends or you're like a brother to me. Ouch. Ooh, God. Ooh, ah. Next point. Number 5, a direct hit. After peppering an enemy galleon ship with countless cannonball fire, it wasn't until the enemy ship made direct contact that Operator Drewski's crew was able to overwhelm them.
Did they ram us?
Yeah.
Oh, they're down. I'm in.
Lucky for them, that ship was wide open to a cannonball direct hit with 0 recourse. Maybe just some minor damage to their lower deck. And at number 4, Ash and Jessie. This is a weird one for sure, and one fan ship that probably only exists within 1% of the Pokemon fanbase. However, a certain number of fans do believe that these two should be together for whatever reason, we have no idea. Ash is a 10-year-old kid and Jessie is clearly a grown woman that constantly calls the kid a twerp for messing up her evil plans. Ash is constantly battling with Jessie and her entire mission is to just steal his Pikachu. If anything, they should be shipping Jessie and Pikachu. Thankfully, there's a larger majority of fans that are very against this ship. Number 3, we sunk your battleship.
I think trying to ram.
They're definitely gonna ram.
He's coming in full speed right at us.
Come on.
Ready?
When an enemy tried to ram into Aculate's ship, I bet he was hoping for a surprise attack leading to them coming aboard. However, the team was prepped and ready, just waiting until the moment of contact before releasing a ton of cannon fire.
Gotta load the cannonball.
Reloading! Nice hit! He's down! He's down!
We sunk their battleship.
In at number 2, Ash and Brock. In what's called boulder shipping, there is this strange theory proposed by fans of Pokemon that Ash and Brock are lovers. Yep, just let that sink in, that's a thing that exists on the internet. What a time to be alive. Brock was the first gym leader that Ash battled while on his journey, and because he was still a rookie, he lost. And when Ash learns from Brock's father that Brock had halted his dreams to take care of his siblings, Ash starts to feel sorry for him. Then during their rematch when Ash gets the upper hand, he decides to forfeit the match, showing compassion for Brock's Onix. Although fans took this moment of compassion to be some sort of strange love interest budding between the two, however, when it comes to canon, the anime show will most likely never even hint at this because from the beginning the relationship was meant to be a pair of traveling friends, not Lovers? What? Come on, guys. You gotta do better than that. Last but not least, on our number 1 spot, Ash and Pikachu. Okay, we've done some pretty weird fan ships on this list, but the most jaw-dropping has to be this one. The iconic pairing of Ash and Pikachu has been the center of many fan ships and by far is the strangest one. You think you can't believe it? We can't believe it. Although the relationship started out kind of bumpy, the two became friends fairly quick after fighting off Team Rocket. For starters, these two are a different species, and secondly, they're a different species. How could you even imagine them being a couple? Other than a trainer bonding with his Pokemon, there's not a whole lot of romantic moments between them. Plus, the height difference is a big setback, and they're different species.